Welcome to Latte with a Lawyer, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the stories of some of America's most successful lawyers, figuring out what makes them tick, how they creatively solve problems, and how others aspiring to be them can follow in their footsteps.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Latte with a Lawyer. I'm your host, Jonathan Brickman, and this afternoon, at least where I am, we have Rinat Erlich from Zelms Erlich Mack. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank
Nice
you
to
for
have
having
you.
me.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. So I know it's the afternoon for me. I think it's still morning there. How do you get started in the morning? What's your beverage of choice since we're Latte with a Lawyer?
Well, it is a latte. It's a soy latte from Starbucks.
Nice.
So they should thank me for the advertising.
Excellent. That's good. That's good. No, I'm done with coffee and I'm onto water. And then, this evening, maybe I'll have a glass of beer.
You should. It's Friday night.
Correct. All right. So listen, I see your firm. Tell me about your work. What kind of law you practice?
So the majority of what I do is I defend professionals when they get sued. All licensed professionals that are non-medical. That means lawyers, real estate agents, brokers, escrow officers, architects, engineers, insurance brokers. So anybody you could think of that has a license and is non-medical, that would be me.
Oh,
in addition, yeah. So it's fun because I get to work with professionals. It's also fun because they don't know what they're doing and they get into trouble all the time.
Really?
Especially attorneys.
I'm sorry?
Especially attorneys.
Especially attorneys. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have you tell me one of your great stories and about it. But okay, I haven't heard anyone that just focuses on defending professionals. Usually it's some kind of vertical. Like I just got off the phone today with a couple of real estate people. And then it's, physicians, but you all professionals. Interesting.
All professionals. Well, I do specialize in real estate. So I have a real estate broker license and I get to do some transactional. I provide risk management and counseling or consulting, let's call it, for real estate broker offices, escrow offices. But the specialty is pretty much any professional.
Okay, interesting. And you're in LA, I take it, right?
I am in Los Angeles, and our firm also has an office in Arizona. I handle the entire state of California, have a few San Diego cases, and probably 25% of my cases are in Northern California.
Northern California. Are you on Wilshire?
And
this
was possible because of COVID. So I have to thank COVID for one thing, which is allowing me to practice throughout the state.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, you think that really opened it up?
Oh, completely. Because now courts are being done through Zoom. Trials are being done through Zoom. Depositions, mediations, arbitrations, you name it. I meet the clients through Zoom. It's just so common now that people never even ask me, where do you practice? That's it. So it's very easy.
But you're not doing jury trials through Zoom. You're doing
You could do jury trials through Zoom, but I have not yet done a jury trial through Zoom. And you can choose, so it's up to the parties to decide. Both parties have to agree that it would be on Zoom or not on Zoom. But let's even say that we want to do it in person.
Yeah.
So I fly up north, I sit there for a week or 2 weeks, and we do the trial. It's not that hard. Most of the work is done to prepare for the trial. Right. You have a year, 2 years where you do a lot of work. Yep. And now you do it all on Zoom, so it makes it very easy.
Well, we're going to get to this, but I mean, I would think if you do have a jury trial, like that personal connection, the way to sort of influence is much more effective if you're in the flesh as opposed to on Zoom.
I agree, but you have to think about how your client might be. If your client is not the most credible person, and a lot of these cases, even though they're document intensive, end up being about credibility. So if your client is not the most likable, you probably want to do it on Zoom. Usually the plaintiffs, the people who are suing, are the ones that want to do it in person. So think about it this way.
Oh, you're on the defense side. That's right.
I'm on the defense, right. So I only have to defend a claim that is actually made. So until they make their claim and they put it in sufficient evidence, defense doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
That doesn't mean we don't over prepare and and we don't get ready for every possible scenario, and that we don't have our witnesses. But they need to be more credible than we are to even get the jury interested.
Right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. So that's interesting. So defense, it's easier to do it via Zoom than on the plaintiff side. That makes sense to me. Okay. Got it.
Now, if I have a plaintiff who I think is lying, and I have a lot of information to impeach them, then it's very dramatic. So sure, you may want to have it in front of a jury because it's going to be a lot more dramatic.
Got it.
If I have a case where I want the jury to fall asleep, Zoom might be better.
Okay.
I mean, imagine I'm defending, no offense, please, a CPA, right? And the entire case is about some reports or tax issues. The jury's going to glaze over that.
Right.
That might be better for Zoom.
Right. That makes sense. Well, I would imagine you've probably had some interesting characters that you've defended being in LA. Do you have any like really memorable stories without naming names?
Well, so yes, I represent a lot of high-end brokers who sell homes of celebrities, and I have quite my share of celebrity cases. They're very interesting characters. A lot of them are not involved in the day-to-day of their affairs. They have business managers that take care of them, and they don't look at anything, they don't inspect anything, they just don't care. They're very interesting.
Well, that's 'cause they don't. A lot of money.
They also think that because they are celebrities, they're going to be very likable, and they could say whatever they want. So they might be caught up in a deposition saying, "Can we take a break? I need a beer," or something like that. So very, very interesting characters.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. Well, what was the show in LA where they were $1 million? I forget what the real estate show.
Yeah, $1 million listing or something like that. Yeah, I've never watched it, but yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were some of your clients. I don't know. Some of those brokers.
Yeah, I mean, they're yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to name names, so let's not name them.
Well, you would know better than me.
Sure. Well, I mean, some of these settlement agreements are confidential. Some of these celebrities purchase properties in the name of LLCs. So if you search the court record, you won't even know who the real celebrity is.
Right.
Yeah.
How about the well, I don't even know what they call it, but on the Church of Scientology in LA, I've been in there to visit. I had to leave. I thought I was getting sucked in. I was going to become a Scientologist after they started playing the movie.
Yeah, it's we have some interesting characters in LA, I would say that, and interesting properties. When you see some of these properties I would never even be able to live in, much less afford. 30,000 square feet with 10, 15 bathrooms, or up on the hills sitting on stilts, properties in Malibu. So, we have interesting cases. For example, things you wouldn't think. Here's just an example. It's not a celebrity, but very high-end property sitting on very close to the shore, and they had an issue with seagulls. We, as normal people, won't think that seagulls could be a problem, but they would just flock the property and do their thing, whatever they do there with all the dirt, and it was all around, and you couldn't even go out to the yard. So, I mean, that's something I think you would only see in LA.
Yeah, only in LA.
Only in LA.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Actually, Malibu happens to be a particularly fond spot of ours that we like to go to. We've vacationed there a few times. It's beautiful there.
Except you can't go into the water. It's always too freezing and too cold.
Yeah, but the beaches are nice there too. Anyway, it's a beautiful place. So how did you get started in law? And I know you came from Israel, and I mean, how did you become a lawyer, and what got you started?
So I think the profession chose me, to be honest with you. I remember growing up, I always knew I was going to be a lawyer, and I studied. I got my undergrad in Israel and went to the service. I was an officer, and then I came here, got into a law school. It wasn't the it wasn't the best law school. I mean, it was one of the lower tiers. That's what I got into.
Yeah.
But I worked my butt off and graduated #1 when I did, and got a lot of job offers, and I've been loving it ever since. I think I've been practicing
What law
since
school did you go to?
'97.
What law school did you go to?
Went to Whittier Law School.
Oh, Whittier. Is that
Yeah.
that's in California?
It's in California. Yeah, they had a law school in West LA.
Okay.
So I went to evening classes or evening schedule. I worked as a bartender, so I basically was out 7 nights a week, either working or going to law school. And then I had babies, so I was taking care of them during the day.
Wow. And this is your law firm. You started this law firm?
It is my law firm. I started it with a partner, Rob Zelms. We started it about a year ago.
Okay.
We're very proud of starting it and how we're doing, touch wood. We, both of us were equity partners at a mid-sized firm with, at some point they had 7 offices with about 180 attorneys, and we just decided we wanted to leave. COVID made it very easy to leave. So we left, and we took 15 attorneys, and now we're up to 19.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. And what other practices do you do besides defending professionals?
So we do some employment. So, okay, well, let me say this. About 90% of our practice is insurance defense. The insurance company would either send us the case, or probably, I would say in 50% of the cases, we get it from local businesses, but they have insurance and we tender it and we keep the case.
I see.
So because insurance is involved, the majority of what we do is defense. So 90%, I would say, is insurance defense stuff, but it would be a gambit of stuff: employment, ERISA, debt collectors, we represent some businesses on directors and officers policies, so things like that.
But all business related professional stuff is, I mean.
So that's my specialty, but I have other people that do a little bit of other stuff. We also represent people on general liability, so slip and fall. It would be businesses, so some of retail stores or other businesses. Homeowners disputes, we would represent one side of the dispute.
Got it. But you're not doing trucking accidents and car accidents.
So my firm, I personally don't. My firm does.
Oh, okay.
And we have people who do that, but again, they'll do that on the defense.
Got it. Yeah. So
and then 10% would be private client matters. So whatever comes in the door, if we think we can handle it, we do. A lot of so because my specialty is real estate, I do a lot of real estate related work. So I might represent a buyer or a seller. It might involve a lawsuit between them or some other transactional stuff. So a little bit of that, but mostly defense.
Got it. Yeah, I just got off the phone with someone that does real estate disputes and does a lot of trials, jury trials. So interesting.
Well, so in I don't know how it is in other states, but in California, maybe 99% of the cases settle. Yeah. And there are many reasons for that. I mean, cost is obviously one reason, but also when you are working for an insurance company, they don't like the risk. So they tend to settle. That's another reason. But also because trials are supposed to go within about a year from the date of filing, but it never happens. So then you get dragged. It might take 2 years, 3 years. And now if there's always going to be one party who wins and one party who loses. So the party who loses files an appeal. Now it continues more. So when you take all that into consideration, and then you add the really, really liberal Court of Appeals that we have in the state, which basically would return everything back to the trial court and say, well, maybe look at this or maybe do that. You pretty much are forced to settle. So we do go to trial. I would say my office in California has about 250 active litigation cases. We'll probably go to trial once a year on average. So these are all averages. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. No, I realize that most things do settle and don't go to trial for all those reasons. I thought it was more like 5% go to trial. Could be maybe nationwide.
Yeah.
California cases it's very hard to get them to go to trial.
Okay, got it. But you scare them into that, so they settle for a higher price.
We settle for the case's value.
Right, that's right. Okay.
But there are a lot of things go into the value, right? The
Yeah.
credibility of all the parties, costs. So yeah.
Got it. Interesting. So, okay, that's interesting stuff. So, what do I want else I want to ask you? I want to ask you again, you became a lawyer. If somebody was going to become a lawyer today, what would you tell them? Would you recommend they do? And if so, what would you tell them?
Well, look, I love being a lawyer and I wouldn't do anything else. At the age of 56, I just started my own law firm. Okay. So that's somebody
amazing.
crazy. I'm supposed to start thinking about retirement, right? And then I go and I start something new. So obviously, I highly recommend to be a lawyer because I love it. But I would tell you, I've heard statistics that 35% of the profession have some mental breakdown of sort, whether anxiety issues, depression issues. It's a very, very difficult profession.
Stressful.
So you have to know getting into it. First of all, it's not a job, it's a career. There's no such thing as a 9 to 5. You have to, you're servicing a client. We're in the service industry. So service means you answer your phone at all hours of the day. It means that you have constantly deadlines you need to meet. So you want to make sure you meet them because you're providing a service. And you have pressure. You have pressure from opposing counsel. It's always adversarial, even though a lot of times I get really friendly with the other side, or people who do transactional work are not technically adversarial, but they really are. You always have to watch what they're doing. So you basically have to answer to your client, and then you have to kind of answer to the other side, and then there's the judges and the courts and all that. So very, very intense, and it's a lot of pressure. So it's not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart. Let me say that.
Not for the faint of heart. Well, so do you use technology to sort of provide some mechanical levers and make things easier for you?
Absolutely. And by the way, attorneys that do not use technology are not going to survive.
Okay.
This is, everything now is technology. Our new law firm is completely virtual. We have an office, but nobody goes to it. All the documents are virtual.
100% virtual. Okay, interesting.
100% virtual. Everything is on clouds. The documents, the software we use, everything. Our IT person, I've never met him in person. He's actually on the East Coast. So, and it's not, first of all, it's the only reason we were able to open this law firm, because if we have to rent an office and get desks and buy computers and monitors and all that, I mean, I would never have the cash to do that.
Yeah.
But it's not just the practicality of things, it's also how you practice. So since COVID, everything is being served online. I mean, by email. You log in for court hearings and stuff through Zoom. You communicate with your clients by emails and texts. Everything is technology.
Right.
Use softwares to track your time. In the old days, I would have to write down, you know how we have to bill?
Yep.
Another reason why it's very hard to be an attorney. Point ones, a lot of point ones. So we used to have to write down the case, look up the case number, and then somebody would have to transcribe it into some sort of an accounting software. Now it's a click of a button. I start to write the beginning of the case name and everything pops up. Just have to do the description and put the time. That's it.
Yeah, amazing. So
it saves a lot of time. Yeah.
There's a lot of time. Yeah, no, listen, as we get more and more virtual and more removed from like the physical world, and, you know, metaverse is coming, you know, who knows where it ends.
I have to tell you something about technology, because I work so much with insurance companies. They are creating softwares that are changing our business. It starts with companies that are able to track how you drive, so that if an accident occurs, they could see everything. They could adjust the claim based on a software. They don't need even a person to adjust it. It also includes the billing. So when I send my bills to the insurance company, I have to send it electronically. they have software that goes through the bills and pick up phrases and things, and they have their estimation of what every task should take. So they audit my bills through their estimations, and then they audit them and send us back a sheet that says you charge too much on this, or please describe that. So if you can't deal with technology, I don't know how you can practice.
Mm.
And I read somewhere, sorry, that they're starting to develop software for virtual or technological judges for smaller cases. So basically, you input into the software, let's assume an accident. So you would input how much you're driving, and then some other issues like the streets and all that. The other side will input their evidence, and the software will just say 80% that the plaintiff wins or the defendant wins or something like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Actually,
it really is.
yeah.
Banks are using it too.
Yeah.
They now have softwares that could review loan agreements and all kinds of contracts that they use. I've read somewhere that they saved millions of attorney hours using those softwares. And when they compare the accuracy of those to attorneys, they found that they were more accurate in identifying issues in contracts.
Well, AI is being used for everything
Yeah.
as a decision support tool, right? Because, we're human, right? We make mistakes, we miss things.
Right.
So if the software is programmed well enough, it can help point out things you might have missed. Yeah, not every bit. Healthcare, I know someone that has a business that literally underwrites claims. If there's an accident, they take the picture, they run it through an algorithm. It will assess what the damage is instead of an adjuster going out there. Yeah.
Wow.
AI is being used in everything.
So so it's in the law as well.
Oh,
we deal with it all the time.
So you're right. You have to, you got to
adapt.
You got to adapt because
Absolutely.
It's not going to go away for sure. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, you're progressive. I mean, at 56, you're very progressive because it would be easy to say, I'm not going to change. I'm going to do things the way I'm used to doing it. So good. I'm the same way. And I got a few years on you. So I am absolutely trying to stay current because if you don't, you get left behind.
Exactly.
So I'm with you. Interesting. All right. Well, good. This has been a great conversation, and we'll put a bow on it here. If someone wants to reach you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
They can email me at Erlich, ERLICH, at zelmserlich.com, ZELMS Erlich, ERLICH.com. It's probably not proper to give you my cell phone. I don't know. So
unless you want people to start calling you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love people to call me. I don't know what about legal issues, and probably only from California and Arizona. That's where we practice.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Well, thank you for spending time with us. Rinat Erlich from Zelms Erlich and Mack in the great state of California. Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, this show, by the way, is sponsored by EmotionTrac, and we are a legal tech company. And we do use AI to help trial attorneys pick up insights that they use for mediations and trials.
This is great. I read about you. I'm very glad to have been introduced to your company.
Oh, thank you very much. All right.
Definitely will use you.
Thank you.